Real Betis, and Anthony scored a wonderful free kick. He had a goal and assist in that game. Since he moved to Real Betis, he has been another man reborn. He's been scoring goals and he's been winning games for Real Betis. So hopefully, Chelsea fan will hope that he will not turn up and win the Europa Conference League for them in that finals. Good morning, guys. Welcome to Volt Sports on Volt 104.3 FM. My name is Godwin, and today we are going to talk about the Europa League that happened yesterday and the Conference League. Good morning, John. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Exceptional games of football coming at us yesterday. Goal upon goal, goals upon goal. And it was an exciting one. Happy for every United fan out there. Let's see you guys at the final.
Okay. Good morning, Noso. How are you? Hope that he's going to come back to full Manchester United win this Europa League against Tottenham Hotspur. Results of yesterday. First, remember, guys, we are live on YouTube at Volt Sports. We are live now on YouTube at Volt. Go there, drop your comments. We'll be reading your comments live here in the studio. Okay, the Europa League proper. Yesterday's result: Manchester United 4. Let's go Club Atletico Bilbao 1. That game, even though that Atletico Bilbao scored first in that game, but Manchester United came back to score 4 in the second half to win that game 4-1 and 7-1 on aggregate. So Manchester United are in the finals. If you look at that game in general, first half was like a 50-50, even though that when they got that goal, two William brothers did not play.
What a fantastic goal
I
it
think
was.
I think it was one thing that hurt them in this particular encounter because
No,
two William brothers did not play. So you could feel it, even though that they were trying to attack, but their attack wasn't that really strong until they got the first goal in the first half. And everybody was thinking, okay, can they do the comeback? But unfortunately for them, Manchester United somehow turned up in the second half and scored 4 to win that game 4-1.
Yeah, that goal was phenomenal because it was something that they sent on an assignment, on an Richard. But, to say that they lacked the Nico Williams brother, yes, in a sense, but they played and they showed character without them. That young man, Jaguar, I don't know if I'm getting his name. Jaguar's here.
Jaguar, just call like that. We know him, Jaguar.
The guy played a really good game, and I just keep coming back to this fact that it's good having outliers in your team. They can help you deliver, but when they are not available, the other guys who are in the side need to show up. And so far, that guy just cancelled a name from the list. Jaguazier and the rest of the guys.
Jaguar. Well, no. See, when you ask me, did they miss the Williams brothers in this game? That's the same hype we hype the Williams brothers in the first leg, and they not show. They not turn up. They were missing in action. They were lost in the atmosphere. We were expecting them to at least, okay, fine, let them come and play. You see that Man United didn't really understand the play pattern. It was the same play pattern. It was the same Atletico Bilbao club they played against in the first leg, but the play pattern was kind of different because you didn't know where the threat was in this game. In the first leg, okay, certainly this is the threat. You have a Nico Williams, you have an Inaki Williams. Once you can send 2 players to hold down Inaki Williams because he's fleet-footed and he's strong, you get physically he's there and technically he's there. So you send 2 players on him and you send the Mazraoui on the Nico Williams. It was all. Man United could play a clean sheet from there. But in this one, you didn't know where the threat was coming from. Either it's coming from midfield, people who can take shots from 20 yards out. You didn't know if it was coming from the flanks, people can take on. So you were certain that even if you look at the flanks, they were not really playing from the flanks mostly. Whenever they get the ball, they pass into midfield and they make those runs in between the defenders. So they were actually playing a very narrow front 3. So at that point, Man United were trying to get who is this threat, where is this threat coming from, and with that, they didn't really know what the game plan was for Atletico Bilbao, and they considered that goal in the 32nd minute in the game or 31st minute in that game, and I think it was cruise control from there for Bilbao. But in the second half, Man United now they understand the assignment, and with the substitutions of what's it called, Amorim in that game, changing those players and giving them different instructions, they went on to win the game.
If you look at that game in general, Bilbao had only 1 shot on target in Hugin. That only goal they scored in that game. I think I saw part of that game, especially in the first half. They were shooting from everywhere, off target, everywhere. So some of Manchester United blocked. If you look at the total shot they had in that game, they had 11 shots because they were trying to get that goal, especially in that first half. But in the second half, everything changed. From that 70th minute, Mesma was introduced in that game and he scored 2 goals. One of the first goals was just a beautiful goal, the way he turned the ball and he hit the ball and inside the net.
Wonderful layout from Odogo as well, though.
Yeah, I think Euro. That is it.
The second goal.
The second goal was Dogo. The first one was Euro.
I know the first goal was Euro. I can remember that layoff from Euro for the first goal.
The Euro goals I think the Euro assist was for Højlund.
The Euro assist was for Mount, 72nd minute.
Højlund, he also assisted for Højlund as well. So I'm just saying it was a good goal for them. You know, it's when you say positioning, you position yourself right, you get the ball and you score the goal. The flip one was as in I just understand when he turned the defender, he did the same thing what's it called Kobino would do in the I think the Kobino did against the Liverpool side in the FA Cup, where he turned the player and just you didn't expect him to shoot from there, and it was just it. Good game for them. I think for me, I just feel like this player, if he's and it's his first goal at Man United, his first goal at Old Trafford. So if he could be fit, he could do wonders for the team. It's one of those two things. In short, when he came in, the game changed.
That's the problem. If he can stay fit, that's
he can.
If he can stay fit, we have been saying this for almost 2 years.
It's not about he can. How many seasons now? How many games
that he has?
That's what we are talking about.
So if after almost 2 years you have not been fit, he has missed almost 50 games for Manchester United. That means almost a whole season and a half. Imagine missing a whole 50. That they have missed a whole season, because a whole season is about how many games?
38 just Premier League.
Just imagine. So imagine how many games he has missed for Manchester United. So it's about one. So he needs to stay fit somehow. But an interesting game again. I think that all the substitutions that made Amorim made in that game was actually interesting.
And they all made assists.
Yes, including Diallo and Højlund scored again. Højlund has been scoring gradually. I think he's picking up for maybe he might be the man for the next season.
Like I said, if you have players positioning, I think the run between him, Ahmad, and Euro kind of sets him up, because I think the pass. I was thinking that assist should have been Euro, because I felt like there was a flick on, there was a tiny touch from Euro at his back feet to lay the ball off for Højlund after Ahmad passed the ball into the box. It was good. You see that when you have players who can actually raise their head up and send a pass into the box 18, strikers will always score goals. You get. And
that credit goes to Diallo, because he was the one that laid it up for Højlund.
No, like I said, he made the run into the channel, he took the player on, and he still had the pass to pass the ball. So it's just one of those things when you can see a player bend his head, run. No matter how you put in the hard work, if you're not raising your head to pick the pass, if you're not raising your head up to send their crosses in, you're going to have a problem in the team. So your numbers will not be up there. But when you have a team or you have a player that could run at channels, take on defenders, and still cross the ball for the striker to be finished, I think it's a good one for him.
Bro,
so
this
Ahmad,
season his numbers are up there.
His numbers for me, Ahmad numbers
for me. This season his numbers are up there.
Ahmad is going to be the star.
Like I said, Ahmad is the player for me, though.
Yeah, he's going to be the star for Amorim in the future, because it looks like he's going to be the star boy, because he's still a young player, and he's there. Even though about this injury, yes, my injury, he was playing way before he got injured. So next season, him, Mount, maybe buy a couple of players. Manchester United might be back. I say might too. I'm not saying that they will be back.
Don't hold your breath.
Might be back. Plus Højlund, if you buy another striker, they're a strong striker. They are thinking about buying Osimhen and all. But let's see what happens with them. But in this particular game, they beat Atletico Club 4-1. Everybody was thinking that it's going to be a challenge for them, but obviously it's one of the easiest games. I think Lyon was even tough for them, because they almost 7-1 is crazy at semi-finals, and this final is supposed to be an Atletico club.
It's at Bilbao. The final is at Bilbao. So and the last time Man United won the trophy was at Bilbao, so they are going for another one.
Okay,
I think Tottenham have something to say about that.
Until then, now win trophy in the second season. Well, he has gone to one final. He's in two. Actually, if somebody tells me I can win trophies in my second season and ends up going for 2 finals, I'll applaud. I'll give him a standing ovation.
Because which one is the first final?
Semi-finals at first with Carabao Cup.
I didn't reach the
finals. Now that semi-final was like the final, because they gave Liverpool a good run for it.
Then this one finished how many? Liverpool trashed them in the second leg, almost 4-0 in the second leg.
No.
It was first with Tottenham, we won the first leg and second leg.
Give them kudos now. They try. They win one leg first.
Okay, Manchester United won against Atletico Club 4-1, 7-1 on aggregate. I think it's going to be an interesting final. Talking about their opponent in that final is Tottenham Hotspur. Tottenham Hotspur beat their own opponent 2-0. Bodo and Glint. It was an easy win for them too. for Tottenham to win that game. If you look at Tottenham this season, as we said, Angie said that he wins trophies in the second season. Now he has an opportunity. And talking about the press conference, they asked him that he said that you win trophies in the second season, and he said yes, that's what he said, and he is in the finals, and it's going to be interesting if he can, because they're all English finals. 3 games they have already played Manchester United 3 times this season. They beat Manchester United in 3 of those games. Even though Manchester United was still trying to get their Armour is trying to get his balance in the Premier League.
Not in an European night.
But it's going to be interesting.
Not
but
in
in this
European
particular
night.
game, they won Bodo and Glimt 2 goals to 0 away. I think it was a good game for Tottenham.
It was a good game, and for me, I'm super impressed with the second goal from Pedro Porro. Right from outside the 18, rifled it in off the left crossbar into the net. No assist. It was a fantastic one. And then you talk about Solanke's tapping as well. But on the night, I think the most important thing was that these guys didn't turn up. Bodo and Glimt didn't turn up. They fell into the ashes. Yeah.
I was saying it before that there's no way they will come out, and because they beat Lazio and everybody was thinking, sometimes what happens like that, but if you look at head to head, you know that it's going to be a tough game for them to beat Tottenham, and Tottenham actually showed up and won that game.
For me, what I didn't want was an easy cakewalk into the final, only for them to go and fall to Manchester United. So I like the fact that Tottenham Hotspur are in the final. Let's see a very solid game, and I'm backing Angie for this one.
Yeah, but we'll get to that one because that final is going to be interesting. But in this particular game, Tottenham had almost all the, apart from the possession, Bodo and Glimt was trying to score obviously because they were down in the first leg already, so they were trying to score. They had more possession, had more passes. They played well, but they could not score a goal. But good outing for them because how many people know Bodo and Glimt? Now,
Yes.
They talk that.
Not
We
just,
know
not
them.
just, not
Everybody-
just that.
We know them.
Good outing for them based on the financials of reaching the semi-finals. Yes.
so it's going
They
to be
need that
interesting.
money.
They need that money too. Yes,
Of course.
imagine where they are coming from and reaching, and they reached and beating Lazio. It would have been interesting, Lazio versus Tottenham in that game, but they deserve to be in
It
the
would have been
semi-final.
a final
But
before the final.
yes, but Tottenham deserve to be in this finals. Good game for them. Solanke scored in the 63rd minute, and Poro scored 4 minutes later to give them that comfortable. Now they won that semi-finals 5 goals to 1 on aggregate. Now we have the 2 English clubs to play that finals. It's going to be interesting. Now, if you look at that finals, all English club, everybody expected it after the first leg though. Now it has happened. But if you look at that final, what do you think will happen in that finals?
For
It's
me,
going to
like,
be on Wednesday, 21st of May.
it's going to be a good final to watch because the Unions are actually going to have a field day. It's going to come down to who wants it more. But like I said, I'm backing Postecoglou for the finals.
Okay, and also, what do you think will happen in that finals? All English finals.
Madison out of the season. Before then, let's hope some players will not go out of the season again. And it's going to be tough, like we said. They've met Man United 3 times this season, just like the same team back have met Real Madrid 3 times this season, and we are all singing their songs. We forget what happened. And we forgot what happened last season, or perhaps 2 seasons ago, or perhaps 3 seasons ago. We're all forgetting about that. They're talking about this season. They've met Man United once in the Carabao Cup, I think, twice in the Premier League, and they won. No doubt about that. They've not met on an European night. And the last Tottenham went to an European night and played an all-English final. They lost. That was 2019 Champions League final against Liverpool. I believe Tottenham is not a team that knows how to play final. That's my belief. Tottenham is not a team that knows how to play final. The Postecoglou with the different tactics, with the different opinion, I think. But when that time comes, I'm not going to sit here and say, okay, in the final, I'm backing Man United. I'm backing Man United already, but let's wait and see how the team, because it's still far from now. It's about 2 weeks from now. Anything can happen. Anything can happen between 2 weeks. Players can go on injury, and the coach will not have a team to fill that day.
Why would even
Why
play
are
your
you
star
wishing
players?
players?
You have to go. I mean,
There's a possibility. Madison did not. Madison was rested against. I think after the first leg, Madison was rested, and in training he picked up enough that took him out. That's taking.
I don't understand what you're talking about, because look at this. In the first scenario now, both teams are never going to make it above 14 this season.
That's they talked about.
So you have totally nothing to play for in the league.
Like I said, Tottenham Hotspur
and you can afford to rest your best players for the final.
For the 2 weeks, just 2 weeks.
What are you saying?
Rest them without training.
Let them train.
Like I said, Madison was rested. in the weekend
Let them do light training.
and picked up a knock in
Let them
training
do
that
light
took
training.
him out the rest of the
Let
season.
them do light training.
And you're telling me now that anything can still happen in football. You can be why is Mikel Antonio not playing for West Ham United? It wasn't.
Nobody cares, man.
He didn't pick up an injury in training. Anything can still happen in football. That's just what I want you to understand. Anything can still happen in light training. Somebody can pick up a knock, and that will take him out for the finals.
Okay, looking at that finals on the 21st of this May, it's going to be interesting. But it's on Wednesday, 21st of May. Let's see who's going to win that final. That day we'll sit on that game and talk about it before that game happens at 8 p.m. on 21st. We will see who wins because both of them, I think they are 14th and 15th on the table, or 15th and 16th on the table. I think
their grandfather 17th.
well, I think so. Both of them are the worst season they have in their club history,
Yes.
and both of them made it to the finals. And Arsenal here is saying, we have a good season now. No, nothing.
I said
Nothing.
this before that
Nothing for
game.
them.
I said you are focusing on the Champions League, Gabi. You know, one stress yourself for league. How far? How market? It's fine.
But let's see what happens. Even though, if you look at the press conference, everybody was talking about, Amorim was talking about, even if they win this trophy, it will not still remove the bad season they had, because according to him, they had one of the worst seasons. Look at how many goals they considered, how many games they lost. Even though he was smiling, Amorim was smiling yesterday, but you could see.
My brother, we have been around this mountain before. How you know you are going around in the same places when you see the same mountain and you're happy to see the same mountain, but you think it's a different mountain. This is the same news, or this is the same rhetoric coming from the club. And what happened after they win it? They throw away the rhetoric. We are fine, we are back. And what happened? They are 16th on the Premier League. So me, I'm happy. It's like Groundhog Day all over again. I'm happy to see them 16 next season if they are going to feel that winning it is going to do anything to salvage the season.
I think they are going to improve when they buy players and all.
Even the failure of a manager that took them to 14th or 15th on the table, he won 2 trophies. If he has his Premier League record, he will tell you he finished in the top 4 in his first season in the Premier League and won a trophy in his second season. That's what he will tell you. You get the man they call Ten Hag. Now Amorim is in and he's proud about it. He tells you the season doesn't matter, we won a trophy. That's what Ten Hag will tell you, because he's a cup winner. You get cup winners don't really know, but they don't really care what they finish on the table. As long as they win a cup, they are okay. And you go back to Amorim, he's a serial winner with what's it called now, Sporting. He's won league titles, he's won cup titles as well. And he's telling you, it doesn't change the fact. He's telling you plainly, it doesn't change the fact that we've had a bad season. But in European nights, we've had one of the best seasons.
Yes, they are unbeaten.
In European nights, we've had one of the best seasons, according to him. Now, but in the league, it doesn't translate to the Premier League. Yeah. That is what job now is to find a way to translate it. He said it plainly in that press conference. He said his job now is to find a way to translate the European night performance into the league performance, to see if they can get themselves somewhere in the league. And we're going to give the fans, not that we're going to be happy, just for the fans to just hold their side, make that just do okay, make we so that I'm not going to pressure us, say we'll not give you trophy. Just hold this trophy. If yes. And in that statement, he also said, if we didn't win it, it's okay. If we don't win it, it's okay, in his statement. So he's saying that it's just the fans, for the fans to just hold on to the trophy while we build a better team.
Okay, let's see what happens in that game. Yeah, I think Amorim is going to do that. I have faith. You don't know why, probably because he's young, and I want to see young coaches do well.
Is it about the fact of Amorim doing well? Amorim is going to do well. It's going to take time.
Yeah, it's going to take time. Okay, let's move on to our YouTube channel and read some of the comments on our YouTube. Okay, John Peter, let's read some of the comments.
Okay, good morning, Ebubechion. Good morning, Ayamuchuk. Ayamuchuk is saying, all English Europa finals, congrats, but United should be wary of Tottenham. Ange always wins something in his second season of his managerial career.
So let's see.
So Charles is also saying hi. And then Solomon is saying, morning guys. Yesterday, I just had more pity on Arsenal. It's a tragedy for them. Then, Drake Media is saying, it's a shame to see what's happening. Arsenal should hide in shame. Okay. The worst Man U side in history are about to win a trophy. The terrible Spurs side may also win a trophy. A bad Chelsea side who is off and on may win a trophy. And Arsenal fans and the club are still yet to win the trophy. Saying Anslot won the league in his first season. Enzo is about to win a trophy in his first season. Amorim is about to win too after 6 months, and Arsenal are still keeping Arteta after winning nothing. Okay. Johnny M is saying, which ending do you like most? Inter, PSG, Chelsea, Betis, United, Spurs. I think we have to disagree to agree that Inter PSG will be the best. And then Paul Rogers, welcome. Paul Rogers is saying it shows how poor the Europa League is when two terrible teams like United and Spurs reach the finals. Oh wow. And then Drake Media is saying Johnny will prefer Inter PSG. Okay, same thing too for Bowen.
Okay, let's see. Thank you for all the comments. Remember, guys, you can always subscribe to our channel. Here, we do this every day, 8 a.m. sharp, Monday to Saturday. We are live. We discuss football and everything in football around the world. Thank you for all the comments, John, especially Johnny M. I think this is the first time I'm seeing your comments. Please subscribe to our channel, and we do this every single day, Monday to Saturday. We are here live to talk about football. Okay, talking about the conference league, Chelsea is an. Before I talk about Chelsea, I understand what Drake Media is saying. Arsenal has been there. Years
Nothing.
building, so I don't know what they are building.
The big skyscraper.
I don't know what they are building. They are building what is that tower in the Bible that they are building? They are building something that
Tower of Babel.
Babel. They are building something I don't understand. Now everybody's winning trophy. Chelsea might win a trophy. Tottenham even might, or either Tottenham or Manchester United will win a trophy, because at the end of the day, fans will only remember the titles you won.
And I disagree with you. I disagree with you.
If they start, okay, for example, Jose Mourinho was at Chelsea, at what was that Real Madrid 3 years. He didn't win the Champions League. When you talk about Champions League and talk about Real Madrid, they will not put Jose Mourinho there. But everybody remember that he built that squad.
When you talk about Champions League, right? It's a subjective topic.
Now, even when you talk about trophies, even when you talk about trophies for Real Madrid, even when you talk about trophies for Real Madrid,
and they brought him
and he won the league.
And they won the league once.
He won the league.
Yeah, they brought some other coaches.
He won a trophy. He won the Copa del Rey.
I think Arsenal should think about it too.
No, Arteta has won a trophy.
Yeah,
he's about to win. Yes, he's about to. Or he's about to win. Yes, he's about to. Or might not win the UEFA Europa League. And we're talking about now on this job, and people are saying they agree they should sack Arteta. Man, don't sack him.
They should give him 1 more year.
1 more year is okay. 2 more years is okay. It's the Premier League. It's not easy. It's not a cakewalk. You get FA Cup. Just if I'm to advise Arteta, just try and win FA Cup next season.
I think what Arsenal fans.
About trying to win FA Cup.
I think what Arsenal fans are angry about, they had January to boost their squad. That's
Thank
the problem.
you. I said it on this show.
If they bought a player in January, maybe 1 or 2 players, and did not win anything, Arsenal fans might not really bother.
Thank you.
But you know that Jesus was out first week of January, out of the season. If they say that okay, maybe it's in 2 weeks injury and he relapsed, and he was off, then you understand. Now he was out. You had only Havertz as your striker. You would have just gone, even if it's on loan. Look at Aston Villa. They brought how many players on loan? 3 players on loan. Look at the quarterfinal of the Champions League.
So Malen and
no, they bought Malen. I think the defender from Chelsea.
Bought Malen. They bought Disaster.
And brought Rashford. Look at how now they are challenging.
I'm talking about the attackers they brought in so far this season. Malen.
Do you understand? So Arsenal fans are angry because they had the window to buy player 3 weeks to buy a striker.
Rightfully so. You know, I said it here that you know, it's not enough just losing Gabriel. They lost Havertz as well. You know, and you're telling me you find a way to win with the team.
They both Sterling when they buy. They don't
let's not even get into Sterling because that will just trigger me. Because why are you wasting money on somebody that is not even useful? You're not even using himself.
They're not even using him at all.
Like, I don't really get it. You know, Arsenal needs to do better. Arteta needs to do better.
Those 2 transfer windows, one of the worst I've seen Arsenal.
I remember the word I used on that day was that you have a golden opportunity to win the Premier League, a golden opportunity to win the Champions League this season, because as of that January, they were in very good position. The point gap between them and Liverpool
was about 5.
Yes. So, a 150 million spent in January would, or let's say with other loan signings or whatever, would have helped them close that 5-point gap. create some distance between them and Liverpool, and at least go as far as they could in the Champions League.
Look at PSG. They went and bought this guy from Napoli.
In January, man.
And look at where they are, Champions League final. And remember, if the Napoli wins the league, you win 2 titles because he played for Napoli and played for PSG. But imagine one striker or one forward player, because you knew that, okay, even if you are not buying, Sterling is going to be useless for you.
Thank you.
So why not even
buy that loan? Bring in somebody else.
Don't even get the loan.
Just bring in another player.
The thing is, the problem is when Arsenal choose to let Reece Nelson, Smith Rowe, and all those players go, and Nketiah at deadline day.
Yes.
I knew they were doomed. But trust me, but the level
but without even replacing them in the first
place. That's not even the problem. The problem is I knew they were doomed because deadline day is always tricky. If you're letting your players go before deadline day,
you have to replace
if you're letting your players go on deadline, you know you've got the player in weeks before. Now, when they let these players go on deadline day, I knew they were doomed.
Okay,
there was no way you could have promoted at least 3 academy players.
Let's even leave this deadline day. Okay, you have your number, your full score, but that they have another window in January. If you have something you didn't fix, that's how it was. You have something you didn't fix in the summer.
You redeem it in
that's
January.
how it was. But this one that you don't have a strike at all, then you have Jesus out of the whole season and you decided not to buy anything. But it's okay. It's all right.
I don't know why we're talking about Arsenal now. We're talking about we're supposed to be hyping up Postecoglou and
they are in the final.
In just 2 years, they are doing wonders.
And some of the comments here on our YouTube channel are okay. I have a Pastor Chris Nnamdi. Okay, he's saying I need that Chelsea jersey at the back. Okay, come to our studio and collect it if you are around Enugu. And he said, why on earth are you wearing Arsenal jersey? Do you want to have a bad day?
Come on,
Pastor. He never reply that.
Okay, thank you for all the comments on our YouTube channel. Remember, guys, we are live on YouTube at Vote FM. And Johnny M is saying this boy knows a lot. Okay, I don't know who he's talking about between us, but thank you for the comments on our YouTube channel. Okay, talking about the conference league. Conference league happened yesterday and Chelsea won 1 goal to nil. Obviously, they are in the finals. But the interesting game is the other game, Fiorentina and Real Betis. Anthony scored a beautiful free kick and had an assist
Anthony does
for the winner.
spinner.
I think his life have changed.
Yes.
His life has changed since he moved to Real Betis, and they deserve to be in these finals.
For real, they deserve to be in the finals. You can't take it away from him. I look at that game and I'm just shocked. Like, this is a stellar performance yet again from Anthony. And what's the difference? The difference isn't the so-called JC. Is there are zero expectations. Come in, play your game, enjoy your game.
You don't
put in
play
a
for
good
big team
performance.
before you don't get expectation.
I don't understand.
You don't play for big team before you don't stay under pressure.
It's obvious that he's
high
a player.
The pressure was the transfer fee and the paycheck. That was the pressure.
He was not scoring goals.
Thank you.
Whether you score goal or you don't score goal, you know me. The pressure was the fan
You know
base.
me?
Yes.
Oh,
the pressure was the fan base.
The pressure wasn't the fan base.
You could even see Casemiro, I think, against the Liverpool game where he slipped and he cost Man United the Liverpool game. You could see that even the almighty veteran fell to the blades of the Man United fan base. Casemiro, whether they deliver for Man United for like 3 years now, as that Liverpool match happened, they sub am off, put am for bench.
Everybody go collect. No,
you get
everybody.
And they collect.
But Anthony own na double damage. Anthony's own was double damage.
Wait now.
You didn't live up to expectation of signing you in because they paid, I think, 90 million or whatever.
80 million, yeah.
Plus the exorbitant 400,000 pound salary or whatever it was.
You know reach 200. No worry.
You pass.
You know reach no worry.
Don't worry, I will dig up the stats. Don't worry about that. And then you come into the game, you are not performing. You are doing show instead of scoring goals for the fans. You are not working in the system Ten Hag is playing.
Okay, I agree with everything you said.
Why won't the fans jump on your case?
I agree.
The fans will jump on your case.
I agree.
The worst problem is how much they signed.
Godwin, I agree. Now let's pull up the stats. He was signed for a heavy fee. Pull up the stats now. He was signed for a heavy fee. 75 million pounds, 80 million euros, so or thereabout. He was signed for a heavy fee. He's been paid around 200 to 20,000 pounds a week. Good price for him. Now this is a player that came in
Which
from
good
Netherlands.
price? How much
Wait
in there
now,
for Ajax?
wait, calm down. Now this is a player that came in for about cheap also. Now his numbers up there is not top. He's not getting double figures of goals and assists, and he's getting chances created. I say his job is not to create chances. Because wait, this guy they play for Man United. Now let's fast. I'll keep coming back to that debate until somebody comes on this show and proves me wrong without sentimental bias. You now go across Manchester. There's a player that was bought for about £100 million from Aston Villa. And in that same season, that last season, let's use last season as a start. What was the player's numbers as opposed to Anthony's numbers? Anthony had better numbers than him. Why is he not under the media scrutiny? Why is he not being called to the media that he's not putting up the numbers? He's not equal to the tax. He's not weighed. He's not weighed
The difference
the
now,
price.
I think
Is the club. The difference now. Jack Grealish.
I
The
think the
difference now
problem-
is the club. You want me to call him? I call him.
It's the club, man.
Now,
I think the
simple
problem-
like I
and
said,
short.
what did I say? I said the fan base.
That's here, man.
You know, it's
Don't tell me
My
that.
own is that different expectation.
Like I said, it's the media. You get where Rashford was misbehaving for Man United. If you bench Rashford,
Then let's look at the other player in this conversation. 20 Premier League games, 3 goals, 1 assist.
So it's still better result.
It's better result than the guy you're talking about. Yes.
it's better result.
He played less games,
He played less
more
games.
goals, and more assists.
What I'm just saying, Manchester
Bro.
United is different from Manchester City. Manchester United are a darling club in England. Everybody wants to talk about Manchester United, so it's obvious they're going to come for Anthony more. But again, the Hag is not doing well. Pep is
Manchester
doing
United are entitled. Those fans are super entitled. And so before you have the chance to prove yourself,
And number
they're
two-
already talking
and
about
So
you in the
again,
press.
even though that Grealish might not, they were winning the league.
Simple.
So he was actually winning something. So everybody might overlook it. But if, for example, if
Man
Manchester
United
United was
win
winning
FA Cup and
That's
Carabao
what-
Cup.
that's the problem. If they were winning,
They said they were winning the title.
Do
They
you
were
know
winning the
if-
When
title.
they win, when they win,
do you know if they win?
Maybe last season.
What I'm saying that if
And last
Manchester United
season.
won the league with Anthony in that team, whether he's scoring or he's not scoring, nobody will come for him because he's winning the
See,
league.
see the
is-
difference is that City were on a run of treble.
That's the problem.
Why?
And
And
Grealish was-
Grealish was important in winning the Champions League the season before. And in the following season, these guys haven't won anything. And Anthony was constantly sitting on the bench instead of getting game time. And when he got game time, he wasn't performing. And you have fans that are satisfied with trophy on one side, fans that are starved of trophy on the other side, and they are seeing the biggest signing of the club coming in, and he's not performing. Bro, if not you, talk your chest.
Well, Anthony,
Simple.
since he moved to Real Betis, he has done well with Real Betis. If you look at his 12 goal and assist, he has 12 goal and assist. Let's see if Betis will going to keep him or go back to Manchester United. But I think the best thing for him is just to leave Manchester United. Let Amorim build his own thing. Let him build his own career, because if he's doing well this way, he just need to go to another team that has a good
The funny
environment,
thing,
and he might do well.
you know
We're
the
talking
funny
about
thing-
the other second leg of that semi-final of the Conference League. Remember, Real Betis, that game ended 2-2 after extra time. He entered extra time and Betis scored
I was hoping for it to have gone to the final. They had a
2-1
better chance
on
of
90
shutting down
minutes.
Chelsea.
2-1 on 90 minutes. Now they went to extra time. Betis equalized and they are in the finals, 4-3 on aggregate.
Granted, I'm bringing us back to this conversation of Grealish and what's his name, Anthony. Anthony's first season, that was 2022-2023, 25 games, 4 goals, 2 assists in the Premier League. Let's look across the pond. The man you're talking about, 28 games, 5 goals, 7 assists. So, bro, where is this notion that somebody is underperforming somewhere and nobody is talking about
An attacker is an
and another
underperforming.
guy is on that.
For attacker is underperforming because look at the numbers.
For an attacker.
Look at the numbers.
For an attacker, that's your station.
For 4 players
For an attacker, why is anybody cutting in Nkunku's head at Chelsea? Why is anybody talking about Jackson's name in
like you
Chelsea?
said, the club, like you said, the club.
club.
is
Why is
different.
anybody else
And nobody's
talking about
talking about
any
Jackson.
of the other front line in Manchester United so far this season who have failed in 40 games to put up more than 5 goals? Why is anybody talking about them, bro? So before you pick your battles, you need to look at the stats, look at the empirical data, and then you make your blatant claims on this matter.
At the end-
Simple and short.
At the end of the day,
At the end of both
end
of
of the
them,
day, you are
It don't concern
underperforming.
me.
at the end
your
of the day,
player, not be
we
your
are
player, na my player.
underperforming.
Leave am for
And
me.
you're not hyping him like that.
Why are you
First thing,
looking at my player?
No, look at it now. 100
Bro.
million pounds, 5 goals, 7 assists
Both of them on
in
that
2 seasons, and you're happy, you are
100
proud.
in
You're with your full chest
100 million,
coming here to
not
command,
be your 100 million.
an atmosphere
Not
that.
be your 100
No,
million. Bro,
Anthony,
if
wait,
you get
now.
the money, buy and spend
Now,
am.
look, calm down now.
If
It's not my
you
100
get
million.
the money, buy and spend
Now,
am.
it's not my 100 million.
Simple and short.
I like the statement. It's not my 100 million.
Simple and
But
short.
for Anthony now, you won't put eye for a matter. And I'm telling you, look in your own team before you come out waiting there for person eye.
See.
At the end of the day,
Before you come out,
At
see,
the end
John,
of the day, we are.
before you come out waiting there for person
Before
eye.
you brought this question up, we were
You
all
go come out the one with your
excuse
eye
me.
too.
Before we brought this question up, we were all talking about Anthony doing well at Betis. That's what we're talking about.
And I said, at Man
nobody
United, they
was
had a good number
criticizing
as
him.
well.
I said at Manchester United, his numbers were terrible because I just showed you that last season he had less than 2 goals in that full season after 29 matches. You understand me? And I'm just calling the fact as it is. Look at it on the stat board. And if you look at that stat board, bro was brought in for 95. And that was his return. Now, on the other side is that he's moved on. He's performing better. I'm hailing the guy. He's doing well. Simple and short. For my team, my money, my expenses, Guardiola has said, yes. Guardiola has said,
how much did they spend as
Guardiola has said, I want to use this guy instead of that 10 position, use him on the wings. Use him in that wings. He won the Champions League for us. I am the financials of winning the Champions League. The financials of winning the Champions League alone more than offset the transfer fee.
Wait, calm down. Let me ask him one question.
QED.
When was the last time Man City won a trophy before Jack Grealish came in?
Let me conclude this argument. They brought in Linish and Haaland to help to win the Champions League.
Thank you.
If he helped Manchester win the Champions League, he did his job truthfully because he played almost all the games for them to win that trophy. Whether Pep liked him and he did well. Next season, everything was changing for him. But truthfully, somehow he justified.
Mission accomplished. Who was front and center of that celebration? Like Grealish, bro.
When was the last time Man City won a trophy before Grealish came in?
They have been winning trophies before he came.
When was the last time United won a trophy before Anthony came in?
I don't know.
That's end of debate. Let's go on to the next one.
At the end of the day,
Anthony came in, and in his first season, he won a trophy with Man United. Abi?
One trophy, right?
He won a trophy with Man United. A trophy now one now. After how many years of not winning a trophy? The last time Man United won a trophy was, I think, 2018.
But at the end of the day,
after like 8 years or 6 years, he came into the club, and in his first season,
I understand what
he won a trophy. And you're comparing him to Man City that has been winning trophy back to back, every year they've been winning.
But Man City have not won the Champions League.
Now they tell you, see, but they win trophy they come.
But they didn't win Champions
League.
They
win trophy they come.
They didn't win the
You
Champions
win trophy they come. Yes,
Did they win the Champions League? Yes or no?
every year.
Yes or no?
Okay, let's
Now trophy I asked you, they win trophy every year. He was
not brought in to win trophy. He was brought in to win Champions League. QED.
You win extra. You know go kill. I know go 40 say you win extra. But this club was not winning anything at all, and they brought in a player and he won a trophy in his first season. And you're comparing the two.
At the end of the day,
you are the one comparing the two.
At the end of
you
the
are
day,
the one, not him.
Two of them now flop.
You are the one comparing.
At the end of the day,
at the end of the match, they decided to let go Anthony.
Simple and short. Keep our Grealish.
So at the end of the day, two of them now flop.
It concerns you.
But the difference is that Pep still loves his floor.
Yes.
So you're not going to blame him.
It's not his fault that he loves his
floor.
You don't love your
Let's
floor.
just agree to disagree that two of them now flop.
Okay, the other game, Chelsea won their own game. They are in the finals. It's going to be Real Betis and Chelsea in the finals of the Conference League. The debate between Linish and Anthony. Anthony is not doing well, so let's see if he's going to help Real Betis win that finals. Okay, back to our YouTube channel before whenever you talk about City, John is gingered. So somehow, so is his rival. Manchester United going to go this Manchester debut.
Own it. At least own it and say you're a United fan instead of pretending
we are having a Manchester derby argument in the studio here. It's always interesting. Okay, back to our YouTube channel. Pastor Chris, he said, I'm happy for my darling Chelsea. Anthony will hear from Kopama on the 28th.
Hey!
Okay, say God will pray for Lampard to win today's playoff. Yes, they are playing a playoff, starting their playoffs today. I said I should pray. If they play well, they will qualify. You don't need to pray for anybody.
They go to the finals.
Okay. Finally, answering Icon Fashion World, Pastor Chris Pastor Chris is answering. Icon Fashion One, you are not understanding what John is pointing out. Okay, talking about Icon Fashion One, John, with the amount you brought Jack Grealish, you said it's a better result. Fear God, though, what you should understand is that United is a bigger club with biggest fan base.
If you know the headline, you know
That's what I'm saying,
that
bro.
used to win trophies. Okay, it makes sense. Jaja Sonto is saying the difference is that one is an English boy and the other is not. Bilbao was being spanning shots from different areas of the pitch because they know United has a basket in front of goal. Thank God they were mostly off target. Okay, thank you for that comment. Okay, Nathaniel, let's reach another comment. Okay, Nathaniel Nnam. Okay, Nathaniel Nnam, welcome to share. Good morning, House. Anthony was good. It was just the price tag. So it's possible for Anthony to win 2 European Cup because before Asta, what a word. Oh, okay, yes, he played for Manchester United in the Europa League.
And he went in January.
So he can win 2 European trophies in 1 year. So it's very, very possible.
And Asta
never touched anything. Okay, Nathaniel, please remember to subscribe to our channel. If you are here on our YouTube channel, please remember to subscribe to our channel. Okay, other comments. Judah Onunko said Anthony the GOAT. By injuries from him, Real Betis will win the trophy. Okay.
Fired up.
Truth is saying Betis versus Chelsea will not be funny. Anthony is on form of his life. Okay, let's see if he is going to win those trophy. Okay, let's take phone calls and get your own contribution of all these things we are talking in the studio. The number to call is 0706 048 5853. Yeah, hello, good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, especially John and also.
Good morning.
Good morning, no.
Good evening, also.
Good morning.
My name is Bishop. I come from Francisco.
Okay, Bishop, what's your contribution quickly?
First of all, I will say congratulations to Anthony first.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hello?
Hello?
485853. Call us and tell us your contribution about all this we are talking in the studio. What do you think? Maybe you don't want us to take on. You don't want us to take on. But I understand where by now. Yeah, it's going to
Let's see how the numbers will turn out.
To win. Okay. On our YouTube channel, Pastor Chris is also in, but turning now to Tottenham. What would be their excuse? No excuse. They'll go home.
The excuse is they don't know the form of their life.
Yeah, good morning.
They're struggling
Good morning. Also, good morning, John.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Name and location, please.
This is an additional from Francisco.
Welcome.
Okay, your contribution.
John, I feel everything all about Arsenal. You don't know why I love you? You go to the reality about football. You will just pick your point and hit it. So either I like it or not, take it or leave it. You know what is key that game for Arsenal and PSG? No one. Atata is number one. If you remember that morning on that Wednesday, it just still was arguing with Nonso that Martinelli no need to start that game. Can you remember?
Yes.
I said it here on the show. Yes, thank you.
So, and you know, immediately I starting that goal, I know that Arsenal can do much. And I told my brother that if Arsenal is not score between 20 minutes in first half, the game is over. And that's what is happened. And that's what is key that game. You know, PSG just see that they are higher in front of Arsenal. Stubbornness killed Arsenal this season. And Atata is number one. Is number one killed our game. But let it be like that. Let us see what will happen in next season.
Okay.
For me, I will not say let them start. Let them give the advantage of one season. Which is coming in the fuck up, let them pursue him. That's one. Two, you see, between Tottenham and Man U, Tottenham need that cup more than Man U.
How?
They need it more than Man U.
How?
Man U already played that cup before. Tottenham never touched it. They need that cup more than Man U. And I can tell you, you see the picture of Tottenham on the final, that 21.
Thank you.
And that's how it is. And two, you see between the Anthony players. From one from Ajax to Man U. He's playing well there, but at times, if we come to one club, the league will look somehow on your body. But if you can just change your pattern or change your movement, you see that it will come back. And that's what you see for the direct president yesterday. See how that guy been everywhere yesterday playing well. And I believe let him stay there and not pray for that guy to come back from Man U, because come back from Man U, the guy will have a problem again.
All right, thank you very much. Okay, let's see what happens with Anthony if he's going to go back to Manchester United. I think it's wise for him not to go back to Manchester United, but let's see. Okay, let's take maybe one or two more calls. Network has been really, really bad. We've been trying to take calls. Okay, yeah, hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, everyone in the studio.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Please.
Okay, Samuel calling from Maputo.
Okay, what is your contribution?
Okay, for yesterday match, the result is okay. So, congrats to on the English team there. So, my team, Chelsea. So, after yesterday match, certain then that they are going to win Premier League and Champions League this season after winning Real Madrid home and away. The hope they raise their hope high. So, but PSG tell them that the Champions League is a game of men. So, but for Europa final, I prefer, even as much as I'm a Chelsea fan and I don't like Man U, but I prefer Man U winning the Europa to be in the Champions League, because Tottenham don't have what it takes to play Champions League, so that we can see a beautiful game. Yeah.
Okay.
So for Chelsea, that winning Conference League is not even my real target. It's fighting for Champions League next season, because as a Chelsea fan, whenever I hear that Champions League anthem, I feel bad, because my team have not been there for over 2 seasons now.
All right.
Or even more. So I prefer qualifying for Champions League, but if we can win the conference and also qualify for Champions League, then we see that Chelsea, Man U, even Tottenham have a better season than
Arsenal.
The second FC.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, okay,
And
let's see what happens in that final. Okay, the championship, second championship playoffs are happening today. Yesterday, Bristol City lost at home to Sheffield United, so Sheffield United have a 3-goal advantage going to the second leg in that game. But hopefully, if they have to, probably they are in the finals already. Yes, if they play. And this particular game today, Coventry, Lampard is coaching Coventry, so they are playing the second first leg of the semi-final of Championship playoff against Sunderland today, 8 p.m. Those are the finals will be played when both of them play the second leg next week, Monday and Tuesday next week, to see who is going to play the finals of. The winner will go back to the Premier League. Let's hope that Lampard and Coventry will make it back to the Premier League. Finally, on our YouTube channel. Okay, Malika, guys. Okay, guys, we have a whole lot of comments on our channels. You can go and watch, especially our last comment, PSG, last video, PSG versus Arsenal on the channel. You can go there, watch it. Please drop your comments and what you think about it. Finally, Icon Fashion World is saying Arsenal, Netflix SC, Tottenham need the cup more, while OSG, what is OSG?
PSG.
Okay, PSG needs to win more than Arsenal. Okay, let's see what happens in these finals. Remember, May is where all the finals will happen. The Europa League, the Champions League, the FA Cup, all the finals is happening today. Thank you for joining us today. So this week is still the Premier League, so we'll come back and talk about the Premier League from tomorrow. And okay, every game that in Europe that's happening tomorrow, please remember to join us live here on YouTube. And if you're around, then you will tune in to Vote FM 8 a.m. sharp. Thank you for joining us today, show. My name is Godwin, and have a wonderful week.
Hello, Enugu, and welcome to Vote 104.3.
Have a wonderful weekend, man.
Weekend,
bro.
Weekend,
What was saying to
I just please, guys, we have a whole lot of videos. We have a whole lot of videos on our channel, especially the last one. We are going to drop another our own thoughts about Manchester United and the exclusive content that we have for Manchester United and Atletico Bilbao. We're going to drop in maybe next 1 hour. Please click on the notification, subscribe to our channel so you get having see, look at the argument we are having here, the banter, the arguments we are having here. This is how we do it every day here at OFM Sports. Please join us, subscribe to our channel, turn on that notification. Thank you for joining us on today's show. I am very, very grateful. Thank you guys.
Awesome programs exclusively on